There is a force in you that doesn't make noise. It doesn't compete. It doesn't beg to be noticed. But it's always been there. When you wake up with fire in your chest, that's it. When you feel calm even in chaos, that's it. When you hold yourself back from what drains you, that's it too. This isn't about controlling yourself. This is about understanding that you are already built with a current, a form of energy, that most men never learn to guide. You've likely felt this current surge during moments of intensity, moments when your body feels alive with purpose. What if you could hold that longer? What if you could store it, sharpen it, and redirect it back into your body? This is the art of masculine energy refinement, and it begins with learning to notice it. No one ever taught you this. Not in school, not in the gym, maybe not even in your home. But it's yours, and it always has been. You do not need to chase strength. You need to stop leaking the power you already have. This space is the first step. It's a return, not a performance, not a fantasy, just a quiet return to the kind of man you were always meant to be. Welcome. You were never taught to protect your energy. You were only taught to spend it. Work harder, push more, be useful, be productive, be strong, but never slow down long enough to know what that strength costs you. This is how most men leak. They leak in the name of hustle. They leak in the name of pleasing others. They leak through tension they never learn to release. But the biggest leak? It happens when you trade your energy for quick relief instead of long-term strength. You give away your fire for comfort, for distraction, for a few moments of release. And then wonder why you feel empty after, why you feel heavy, why the clarity fades so quickly. You are not broken. You've just never been shown how to hold what you carry. Energy can build. It can sharpen you. It can make your body feel alive again. But only if you learn to stop the leaks. Not by fighting yourself, not by force, but by turning inward. You cannot protect what you never pay attention to. You cannot master what you constantly give away. And so we begin, with awareness, with presence, with respect for the power that already lives inside you. And from here, you build. There's nothing wrong with your energy. It hasn't run out. It hasn't failed you. It's just been going to the wrong places. You've been trained to think your vitality disappears, but it doesn't. It diverts. Into overthinking, into overstimulation, into tension you didn't even notice you were holding. Your body is still full of life, but your habits keep that life scattered. It leaks out through anxious thought. It spills out through tension in your jaw. It drains through endless moments of unconscious stress. This isn't about stopping life from draining. This is about choosing where it flows. Every time you learn to feel the flow in your body, not just think about it, you begin to take your power back. The breath you're taking now, that's the start of it. That's energy reclaiming its direction. That's you coming home to a current you've always had, one you're now learning to guide. Your energy isn't gone. It's just been wandering, and now it returns. You are not a container for pressure. You are a conductor, a circuit, a system built to move power, not trap it. When you treat your body like a storage tank, you overflow. When you treat your body like a circuit, you activate. This shift changes everything. Energy was never meant to stay still inside you. It was always meant to circulate, to rise, to move through the spine, to reach every cell, every breath, every part of you. That's why breath is sacred. That's why stillness isn't just silence. It's structure. Each time you guide your breath from the base of your spine upward, you remind your body that it's not holding energy, it's flowing it. The ancient teachers understood this. They mapped out how sensation could be transformed into awareness. Not shut down, not suppressed, transformed. Like steam rising from heated water. You are a vertical channel of motion. No more pressure buildup, no more shutting off. This is a body built to move energy upward, not leak it out and not lock it down. You are not a container. You are a current. A man becomes powerful the moment he chooses stillness over reaction. Not passivity, stillness. Stillness is choice. Stillness is control. Stillness is strength. When you feel a charge rise in your body, a jolt of energy, a spike of emotion, what do? Do you chase it? Do you run from it? Or do you feel it without becoming it? This is the threshold where your power lives, not in suppressing energy and not in unleashing it blindly, but in holding it, containing it, letting it build, and then moving it through you with purpose. You are the furnace, not the fire. The energy you feel is not stronger than you. It is waiting for direction. It is asking for leadership. And when you stop reacting, you begin responding. When you stop leaking, you begin leading. When you stop escaping, you begin transforming. This is where real strength begins. Not in muscle, not in image, but in response, in direction, in stillness. Energy is not just a force. It is a message. It tells the truth about what you believe, how you live, and who you are becoming. Every time you breathe with awareness, every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are sending a signal to your body, a signal to your nervous system, a signal to your future. Most men let their energy run wild, spiking, crashing, collapsing, repeating. But your energy does not have to be reactive. It can become intentional, purposeful, even elegant. You can speak with your energy. You can express confidence without a word. You can shape your presence without trying. All by the way you breathe, the way you hold yourself, and the way you move your energy within. You are always teaching your body what to believe, with every action, with every moment of attention or inattention, with every choice to build yourself or betray yourself. When you slow down, when you listen, when you breathe with care, you are telling your body, I'm not just reacting anymore, I am leading. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is not laziness. Stillness is structure. It is the decision to stop chasing and start choosing. It is the quiet where your nervous system recovers, where your thoughts realign, where your power gathers. Every tradition that honors inner mastery teaches stillness, because it sharpens your attention, it strengthens your energy, and it breaks the addiction to constant movement. When you become still, truly still, your energy stops leaking. It begins to pool, to circulate, to nourish. Stillness is not the absence of action. It's the presence of precision. It's where impulsive force becomes directed strength. The man who has learned to be still has already won half the battles of life, because he no longer moves from fear. He no longer escapes into noise. He knows where his center is. Every breath is a chance to return to that center, to sit in the fire of stillness until what's real becomes clear. You were never meant to chase energy. You were meant to cultivate it, to tend to it, to grow it with care. Power that lasts doesn't come from sudden bursts. It comes from refinement, from consistency, from understanding your internal rhythms. Every day, you are either scattering your energy or deepening your reserves, and the difference is rarely loud. It's often found in small, almost invisible choices. The breath you rush versus the breath you stay with, the tension you ignore versus the tension you explore, the moments you abandon your body versus the moments you return to it. This is how energy refines, by noticing, by adjusting, by slowing down, not out of hesitation, but out of precision. The strongest men you'll ever meet move with presence. They know where their energy goes, and they don't give it away cheaply. So learn to refine. Learn to slow your movements without losing your momentum. This is how you become a man who does not burn out, but burns steady. Flow isn't something you grip tightly. It's something you open to. It's already moving inside you, but only if you quiet the noise long enough to feel it. Your body is not against you. It never has been. It's just been waiting for you to listen, to stop pushing, to start sensing. Force scatters energy. Flow gathers it. And every time you try to force your body to obey, you interrupt the very thing you're trying to create. Real power is responsive. It flexes with you, not against you. It lives in breath, rhythm, and grounded awareness. If you want to move energy upward, don't push it. Invite it. Clear the blocks. Make space. The deepest flows are not loud or dramatic. They are quiet and undeniable, like the tide. And when you stop fighting for control, you begin to feel the control. That was already there. That's when your body begins to trust you, and that's when everything changes. There's a kind of power that doesn't look like control. It looks like ease. It looks like presence. The art isn't just in moving energy. It's in directing it. But direction without stillness is just noise. Real inner direction starts with calm. Before you can guide your energy, you must be able to hold it. And before you can hold it, you must be able to sense it. This is where many men fall short. They rush into action without building awareness. But awareness is not optional. It's the map. You learn to guide your energy, not by force, but by familiarity, by becoming so deeply attuned to your body that your focus alone shifts the flow. Inner direction isn't flashy. It's quiet, like a steady hand on the rudder, a breath at the center of chaos, a man who knows where he's going, even when the world is loud. Practice this, not with pressure, but with clarity, and the body will begin to respond like it always wanted to. Your body listens to the mind, but the mind, it's like a river in a storm. Constant motion, endless chatter. To work with energy, you must train the mind to stay. Not to suppress it, but to give it something deeper to follow. A rhythm, a breath, a direction more powerful than distraction. Every time you sit in stillness and bring your mind back to your breath, to your lower center, to the feeling in your hands or belly, you're strengthening a kind of inner muscle. This is not spiritual fluff. It's training, like lifting weights for attention, and every rep counts. The world pulls your mind in 100 directions, but your practice, this quiet return, is the way you reclaim it. No need to shame the mind for wandering. Just bring it back over and over again. This is the discipline that changes everything. The most powerful attention is not a forceful stare. It's not straining. It's not tensing the forehead or tightening the chest. It's gentle, open, but steady, like the sun resting on the earth. When you train with energy, this is the kind of focus you need. A presence that doesn't grasp, but also doesn't drift. Most men never learn this. They're either too rigid or too scattered. But you're learning something deeper. You're learning to hold your focus with calm, quiet strength. Not with tension, but with trust, not by forcing, but by returning again and again. This is the strength of gentle focus, and it will carry you further than intensity ever could. Energy doesn't begin in the sky. It doesn't start somewhere outside of you. It begins in the body, your body. That means every breath matters, every stretch, every meal, every hour of rest, every moment of stillness. Your body is not a container, it's a generator. When you take care of it, energy moves, not in flashes, but in waves, not in chaos, but in rhythm. This is why the practice starts here, with your body, with the very real, very physical ground you stand on. This is where energy begins, and this is where your practice must begin too. Stillness is not emptiness, it's depth. When you slow down, you don't disappear, you emerge. The more still you become, the more of yourself you begin to feel. The noise fades, and what's underneath rises. Stillness isn't silence. It's the sound of your energy aligning. It's the clarity that arrives when the body is no longer rushing and the mind is no longer scattered. You don't have to chase energy. You don't have to force it. You allow it. And stillness is what allows it through. Stillness is not emptiness. It's foundation. There's a reason breath is sacred, in every tradition that teaches strength. When you breathe with intention, you do more than survive. You begin to shape your energy. Fast, shallow breaths keep you in reaction. Slow, steady breaths return you to control. Your breath is not a background process. It is a tool. It is a gateway. It is the path that brings your awareness back into the body and your power back into your hands. When you breathe deeply, you gather yourself. You anchor yourself. You charge yourself. When breath becomes power, you no longer get pulled by the world. You move through it with strength that flows from within. Most men chase muscle. Few chase flow. But your true strength isn't just in your biceps. It's in how freely your energy can move from head to toe and back again. Tight muscles don't make you powerful. They make you blocked, stiff, trapped in tension. When your energy is stuck, your emotions are stuck. Your creativity is stuck. Your confidence is stuck. But when you move, when you stretch, when you breathe, you begin to circulate again. And as your blood flows, so does your clarity. So does your masculinity. So does your power. Real strength is not about contraction. It's about opening. Opening to flow. Opening to life. You've had it since birth. You use it every day. But you probably don't use it on purpose. Your breath isn't just automatic. It's transformational. The man who learns to breathe deliberately, learns to live deliberately. With every slow inhale, you choose calm over chaos. You choose depth over distraction. You choose strength over noise. And with every exhale, you let go of the clutter, the pressure, the shame, the rushing. Breathwork isn't for decoration. It's a tool for resetting your nervous system, stabilizing your mind, and bringing your energy back under your command. When your breath deepens, so does your presence. So does your focus. So does your power. A master of breath is a master of life. Your awareness is not passive, it's magnetic. Where you place it, energy follows. When you bring attention to your body, you light it up. You wake it up. You give it permission to move powerfully again. The man who lives only in his thoughts misses the vast empire of wisdom stored in his chest, his gut, his spine. Energy moves through you like a current. Awareness is how you steer it. The more precise your attention, the more potent your internal power becomes. Energy is not stuck, it's just waiting for direction. Through breath, posture, and intention, you can guide it like water through channels, from your base to your head, from your core to your limbs, from your tension into your peace. Circulating energy isn't imagination, it's a practice. And the more you do it, the more your whole system begins to change. Circulation builds resilience. It clears old blockages. It gives your energy somewhere to go, so it doesn't stagnate or explode. Movement matters, but so does stillness. The calm man is not weak. He is ready. Stillness is not nothing. It is everything that hasn't been scattered. When you train yourself to sit with stillness, you train yourself to endure discomfort, without panicking, to hold emotion, without collapsing, to face pressure, without flinching. Stillness is stability. Stillness is structure. Stillness is strength. You are not just muscles and bones. You are a flow system, a living circuit, a container of energy in motion. When the flow is open, you feel alive. When it's blocked, you feel off. So we learn to open the gates, through breath, through posture, through presence. You don't need to fix your energy. You only need to remember how to move it. You are wired for wholeness. Reconnection is not invention, it's return. Your energy is not random. It is listening to you. When you move unconsciously, it stutters and misfires. But when you move with command, it flows like music. You don't need a guru. You need awareness. You need stillness. You need the courage to feel what's inside. And then, guide it. You are the conductor of your energy. And the more you listen, the more clearly it will play. You were taught to suppress your emotions, to stay composed. But suppression isn't strength. It's shutdown. Real strength is the ability to feel fully without getting swept away. You can feel grief and stay grounded. You can feel anger and stay centered. You can feel desire and still choose direction. Energy becomes power when it's held with awareness, not when it's buried or unleashed. You're not a prisoner of your feelings. You're the container. You're the guide. Most men are trapped in their heads, but your true power lives lower. In your belly, in your hips, in the deep foundation of your body. That's where energy builds. When you ground your awareness downward, you activate the core of your personal power. You stop floating, you stop escaping, you arrive. And once you're grounded, you can rise, with clarity, with structure, with unstoppable flow. Breath is not just air. It's alignment, it's focus, it's fuel. With every inhale, you draw life in. With every exhale, you guide energy into place. A deep, calm breath tells your nervous system we are safe, we are aware, we are in command. Don't underestimate your breath. It's not just automatic. It's a tool, a gateway, a bridge between the unseen and the seen. You don't have to strain. You don't have to grind your energy into place. Flow happens through listening, not through pushing. Tension can become clarity. If you stay present long enough, restlessness can become insight. If you breathe into it. You don't need to force your transformation. You need to allow it. Hold the structure. Keep the practice. Let your energy unfold. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's becoming who you truly are, without interference. Your structure, your breath, your posture, your practice. It holds space for your energy to move, without chaos. A man without structure leaks power, but a man with structure channels it. The more consistent you become, the more free you become. Structure isn't a cage, it's your key. Most men think power is loud, explosive, unleashed in a burst. But the most powerful energy moves with subtlety. It expands inward. It strengthens silently. You don't have to blow your circuits to feel alive. You don't have to erupt to feel free. Real energy is steady. It builds. It stays. It nourishes the whole body, not just a moment. You won't find your answers outside. You won't find your strength in escape. The path begins in your body, not in a book, not in an idea, but in sensation. Breathe into your lower belly. Feel the space, feel the heat, feel the quiet intelligence that's always been there. When you descend into your body, you give your energy something solid to rise from. The journey up starts with a return down. You won't master your energy while constantly moving. Stillness is the crucible. Stillness is the mirror. Stillness is the space where your power reveals itself. When you sit, when you feel, when you listen, you begin to see how your energy behaves. Only then can you guide it. Only then can you shape it, without wasting it. Stillness isn't weakness, it's control, it's clarity, it's command. You're not fixed, you're not stuck, you're not too late. With every breath, you tell your nervous system something new. With every movement of energy, you create new pathways inside. The patterns of burnout, the cycles of tension, the quick reactions, they can all shift. This practice doesn't just make you feel better. It makes you different, from the inside out. Your energy is not separate from your life. It becomes your life. How you move it, how you hold it, how you share it, shapes everything you touch. A man who's grounded, centered, and steady radiates clarity into his career, his relationships, and his future. This is not just internal. It's practical, it's powerful, it's real. Master your energy, shape your world. Calm is a side effect, not the destination. What you're really doing is building capacity. To feel more, to hold more, to carry more power with less tension. The breath isn't just for peace. It's for expansion. It's for depth. It's for rising without cracking. You're not here to feel slightly better. You're here to become unshakable. Stillness isn't absence. It's presence, intensified. You don't have to shut your feelings off to be grounded. You don't have to harden to be strong. Stillness is where emotion meets awareness, where intensity meets composure, where power meets peace. The real masculine stillness feels everything and chooses what to do next. Strength doesn't require aggression. Gentleness doesn't require weakness. You can be soft without collapsing. You can be strong without forcing. Your energy, when cultivated, it becomes like water. It flows, it adapts, it nourishes, and it can shape mountains. This is the balance most men were never taught. Most men wait until their body breaks down, until their energy is gone, until their relationships are strained. Don't wait. Build your strength before the storm. This isn't just recovery, it's preparation. Train now, so that when life tests you, you already have the foundation. Build before the break, so you bend, but never fall. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Imagine the version of you who already lives this way. Steady, clear, strong in body, focused in mind, rooted in energy. That version of you isn't fantasy. It's memory waiting to be reactivated. Every breath you take with intention brings you closer. He's not far, he's just unpracticed. You don't have to silence your thoughts to find peace. The mind becomes chaotic when the body is neglected, but when the body is trained, the mind learns to rest. This practice doesn't fight your mind, it invites it back into rhythm. When your breath deepens, your thoughts follow. When your energy flows, your focus sharpens. Train the body, and the mind will return to its rightful place as your ally. The world taught you to rush, to fight the clock, to push until you collapse. But true power is not in speed, it's in presence. A slow breath, a deliberate movement, a calm decision. These are the marks of a trained man. You don't have to run, you don't have to force, you only have to return. Slow is not weak, slow is precise, and precise is powerful. This isn't just breath work, or movement, or awareness. This is remembrance, this is restoration. You are not a man learning something new, you're a man returning to what your body never forgot. Each practice, each moment, each repetition is you reclaiming yourself. This is more than a technique, this is your return. You weren't taught how to be still, you were taught how to move, how to grind, how to chase. But stillness isn't the absence of effort, it's the presence of control. Stillness is a skill, forged through discipline, refined through practice. In stillness, you gather energy. In stillness, you listen to your body. In stillness, you return to power. Train stillness, and you train presence. Every inhale is an entryway into calm. Every exhale is a release of tension. The breath is not background, it's the gateway to awareness, to control, to strength. When you lose your breath, you lose your center. But when you claim your breath, you return to command. No tools, no tricks, just breathe. Energy doesn't live somewhere else. It lives in you. It's moved by your focus, shaped by your posture, guided by your breath. You are not a passenger in this body. You are the conductor. This practice reminds you of that. You breathe with intention. You move with direction. You live with awareness. You don't need more power. You need clearer access to what's already yours. The body doesn't need noise. It needs rhythm, repetition, ritual. When you move with purpose, each day at the same hour with the same breath, your body begins to trust you. The chaos fades, the guesswork ends, the energy returns. Your body isn't confused. It's waiting for you to be consistent. You will forget. You will skip a day. You will doubt the practice. And that's okay. This path doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for your return. You don't have to get it right every time. You only have to come back. One breath, one movement, one return . That's enough. Discipline isn't perfection. It's loyalty to the man you're becoming. You don't have to rush your progress. There is no stopwatch on your transformation. You are not behind. You are not late. Going slow is not weakness. It's precision. You are relearning your body. You are rebuilding trust. You are becoming something solid. Let it take time. It's supposed to. What you feel is not chaos. It's signal. Your tiredness is wisdom. Your frustration is trapped power. This practice teaches you to listen, to observe, to respond, not react. Your energy isn't random. It's responding to your choices. The more conscious you become, the more powerful it becomes. You weren't built to collapse. You were designed to sustain. When energy flows clearly, you don't drain, you expand. The problem is not effort. The problem is neglect. Neglecting your breath, your rhythm, your rituals. You were not meant to burn out. You were meant to grow stronger, steady, silent, sure. Strength is not just how much you can lift, it's how much steadiness you carry. People feel it. They can lean on you. They relax around you. They trust you. This isn't performance, it's embodiment. The more you show up to this practice, the more your presence sharpens. And the world feels safer, because you are in it. The breath changes, the posture shifts, the energy moves, and suddenly, you are different. Not louder, not more extreme, but more alive, more aware, more true. This path doesn't just make you better, it makes you real. And real men are the ones who change the world. You were never broken. You were never weak. You were never empty. You just forgot where to look. The strength you've been chasing, it wasn't in the noise, not in the grind, not in the outside world's approval. It was always within you, waiting quietly, patiently. There's a current of life inside your body, an energy that doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't need words. It only needs your presence. And now, you're learning to return to it, to breathe into it, to move with it, to build a life where your energy is no longer leaking, but rising. This is your turning point, not because you became someone new, but because you remembered who you've always been. A man who doesn't chase energy, a man who lives from it. Welcome back to your power. Welcome back to your life. In a world that tells you to keep moving, you chose stillness. Not because you were weak, but because you knew power doesn't need to shout. It's in the breath you hold with intention, the posture you choose when no one is watching, the quiet way you build your life, from the inside out. The silence you're entering now isn't emptiness, it's foundation. This is where men learn to lead themselves. You don't hustle your way to energy, you align your life with it. You stop forcing, you start listening. You learn how to breathe again, how to walk again, how to move your body in a way that feeds it, instead of draining it. Your energy isn't a reward, it's your birthright. And now you're learning to receive it, fully, without guilt, without fear. This is the beginning of alignment, and it's changing everything. For years, your body has been whispering. Tightness in the chest, exhaustion after a simple day, numbness where there used to be joy. These weren't failures. They were messages. Your body was asking for you to come home, to learn its language again, to stop seeing it as something to fight, and begin seeing it as something sacred. Every muscle holds memory. Every breath holds intelligence. And the moment you begin listening, your life begins changing. True masculinity doesn't rush. It doesn't perform. It listens. It roots. It holds. You are not here to prove yourself to the world. You are here to be yourself. in your breath, in your movement, in the still fire you carry beneath your ribs. The man you're becoming doesn't need applause. He simply walks in truth. And that steadiness, it shifts every room he enters. The tension you've carried was never yours to hold. The fear that kept you quiet didn't come from your soul. And now, you're ready to let it all go. Not by force, but by breath, by presence. Letting go isn't weakness. It's strength without strain. You are not here to carry the world. You are here to carry your truth. And that truth is already lighter than you imagined. You've ignored your breath for years, treated it like background noise. But your breath has been waiting, patiently, powerfully. It's more than oxygen. It's memory, it's rhythm, it's your original guide. And when you return to it, you return to yourself. This isn't just breathing, it's being. Breathe now, and feel what you've been missing. You were taught to conquer your body, to control it, to punish it. But the truth is, this body has only ever tried to protect you. Even when it broke down, even when it held pain, it was speaking in the only language it knew. Now, you get to listen. You get to move differently, feed it differently, live with it rather than against it. Because this body, it's your ally. Discipline doesn't need to be harsh. It doesn't need to come from anger. Real discipline comes from devotion, a steady honoring of what matters. You don't force yourself to wake up early. You rise because something inside you is worth rising for. You don't punish yourself into shape. You shape yourself with care. This is discipline without violence, and it builds a man you can respect. The world calls you lazy when you stop moving. But stillness isn't laziness. It's listening. It's remembering. It's restoring. Every forest has its winter. Every fire has its pause. And every man, if he is wise, learns to sit still long enough to feel the truth in his bones again. You're not falling behind. You're learning to stand still with strength. You've seen the loud kind of power, the kind that demands attention. But the deepest power moves differently. It walks quietly. It watches patiently. It doesn't need the room to clap. Because it knows what it is. It is what it is. And so are you. Your power doesn't need to perform. It just needs to be embodied. And that's exactly what's happening now. You don't need to clench your jaw to be strong. You don't need to tense your fists to be powerful. Real strength has nothing to prove. It moves like water, calm, relentless, and unstoppable. You've spent years confusing tightness with toughness, but you are strongest when you are open. Open doesn't mean vulnerable. Open means alive. Breathe. Release the tension. Let your strength arrive in silence. There were seasons you felt cold, unmotivated, disconnected. But your fire was never gone, only buried, only dimmed beneath the weight of too much. The ember stayed lit. It always does. And now, as you clear space, as you feed your inner flame, you'll feel it rise again. This time, you'll tend it differently. This time, you won't let it go out. You don't need to move at the world's pace. You have your own rhythm. Faster is not better. Louder is not wiser. When you find your own tempo, when you honor the quiet pulses inside, you start to move with purpose. No more rushing to catch up. No more pushing past your limits. You are reclaiming your rhythm, and it's powerful because it's yours. You don't need complexity to be whole. You don't need chaos to feel alive. Sometimes the most sacred thing is simplicity. One breath, one choice, one honest moment. The world tries to sell you more, but your body knows less can be deeper. And in that space, you find yourself again. You've compared yourself for years, measured your progress by someone else's path. But you are not behind. You are on time. You are right on time. Every delay taught you something. Every pause prepared you. You haven't wasted anything. You've ripened. And now, you rise from a deeper place. A place only time could carve. You don't have to dominate the room. You don't have to demand attention. True presence is quiet. It's the man who listens, the man who breathes before he speaks. There's power in gentleness, in how you look someone in the eyes, in how you hold space without needing to fill it. You've been told to be loud, but silence, when rooted in depth, is thunder. And that's who you are now, a quiet storm. You don't change the world by forcing it. You change the world by organizing yourself. When your breath is steady, your choices sharpen. When your mind is clean, your energy speaks louder than words. You've chased external control, but the real shift starts within. Create inner order, and the outer world bends to meet it. Your body isn't a project. It's not a punishment. It's not broken. This body is your temple. It holds your stories. It carries your strength. It remembers what you've survived. You don't need to fix it. You need to listen to it. And when you do, it will show you what healing really means. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is power concentrated. In stillness, you stop reacting. You start choosing. It's where you meet yourself again, beneath the noise, beneath the roles. You are not just movement. You are the space between the movement. Come back to it. Return to your stillness. That's where your truth lives. No one's coming to tell you what to do. No one's coming to save you. And that's not a curse. That's a gift. You were always meant to lead yourself, not with force, but with alignment. When you follow your breath, when you follow your wisdom, you walk paths no one else can see. This is the new leadership. This is your path now. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not broken. You're simply arriving. The world moves fast, but you are not a machine. You are a man on a path. And your timing, your rhythm, is sacred. Trust where you are. There's wisdom in your pace. You've been told masculinity is emotionless. That power means detachment, that real men don't feel. But that was a lie. The grounded masculine feels deeply, and because he feels, he can hold others. You're not here to shut yourself down. You're here to feel with discipline, to care with clarity. That's what strength looks like now. When you walk in calm, people feel it. You don't need to speak louder. You don't need to dominate. Your presence is enough. A man who owns his energy doesn't chase. He invites. He influences without force. So breathe. Ground yourself. Your calm does more than you know. You don't have to keep performing who you were. You don't owe your past self a performance. You're allowed to be new. You're allowed to change direction. You're allowed to surprise even yourself. Growth isn't betrayal. It's return. Back to who you really are, underneath the masks. You are not locked in. You are unfolding. You've been trained to fight, to prove, to conquer. But peace isn't found in endless battles. You don't have to fight everything. You don't have to win every argument. You don't have to be right to be whole. Some battles are just distractions. Your power is in your discernment. Walk away, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. You want strength? Then sit in stillness. Breathe when you want to move. Stay when you want to run. Stillness trains you. It shows you what you reach for, what you fear, what you try to escape. In stillness, there's no escape, only truth. That's where the warrior is forged. Anger, sadness, tenderness, desire. These are not problems. They're not flaws. They're signals, gateways, messengers. What you feel isn't wrong. It's a compass, pointing you back to yourself. Feel it, without shame, without apology. You don't need to control your energy. You need to understand it. Respect it. Give it structure. Let it breathe. Energy isn't something to suppress. It's something to listen to. You are not chaotic. You are powerful. And with practice, that power becomes peace. The world will pull you in 100 directions, but your breath, it always brings you back. When the noise rises, breathe. When the fear speaks, breathe. This is your anchor, your rhythm, your power. Return to it over and over until it returns you to yourself. You don't need permission. You don't need a new year. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need presence, a breath, a choice. You can start again right now. You can live differently right now. Don't wait. Lead. The door is open. Walk through it. Rest is not weakness. Rest is not giving up. Rest is strategy. You're building something. And even warriors sleep. Even leaders pause. You don't have to grind yourself into dust to prove you're worthy. Rest, then rise again. With clarity, with strength, with purpose. Your power isn't in your volume. It's in your stillness, your decisions, your presence. Let others shout. You speak with your actions. There's a kind of man who doesn't need to say much because his energy says everything. Be that man. You weren't built to go numb. You weren't built to scroll endlessly, to eat just to escape, to work just to forget. You were made to feel, to face, to heal. Your body remembers, and your healing begins when you finally listen. Don't numb. Feel, and watch what transforms. You haven't missed your chance. You haven't run out of time. Who you are has always been waiting. Beneath the noise, beneath the pressure, beneath the roles you were forced to play, you still exist. You can meet yourself now, fully, finally. Not reacting isn't weakness, it's wisdom. There's strength in not proving, not chasing, not attacking. You don't need to fight to be real. You don't need to win to be whole. Peace is not passive, it's earned, and you're strong enough to hold it. You are not here to drift. You are not here to be lost. Masculine energy is direction, purpose, focus. Not because you have to be perfect, but because your energy becomes magnetic when it's aimed. Where are you aiming today? tension in your shoulders, tightness in your chest, the fatigue that lingers. These aren't random, they're messages. Your body speaks, even when your mind won't. Start listening, and you'll start healing. You want to lead others? Start with yourself. Your energy, your emotions, your thoughts. Mastery doesn't mean perfection, it means ownership. When you can lead yourself, the world will follow. You will never arrive, and that's not a failure. That's the gift. Every breath, every choice, every moment is the practice. There's power in showing up, in refining, in returning. You don't have to be finished. You just have to keep walking. You've spent your life trying to earn your worth, trying to show them you're good enough, strong enough, smart enough. But you don't need to prove anything anymore. Your existence is already evidence. You're not here to beg for validation. You're here to walk in truth. And your truth speaks louder than anyone's judgment. The habits, the beliefs, the masks. Sometimes they have to burn, so something real can rise. Don't fear the fire. The fire is how you become, who you actually are. Ashes are not the end. They're the beginning. The anger, the frustration, the shutdowns. Those are survival, not identity. You are the witness, not the storm. And you can choose. With awareness, with patience, with presence. The world pulls you in 100 directions. Responsibilities, screens, noise. But your real strength is in returning. Back to breath, back to body, back to awareness. You're not lost. You're just distracted. And now you're coming home. You've been looking for it. In partners, in paychecks, in praise. But the deepest safety comes from within. When you meet yourself with care, when you breathe through discomfort, when you build trust with your own soul. You stop outsourcing peace, you create it. The noise is constant, and that's not an accident. Stillness is powerful. Stillness reveals. Sit with yourself, not for answers, but for presence. That stillness will teach you what striving never could. You don't have to confront it all at once, but you do have to stop running. Because what you avoid still runs your life. It shows up in your words, in your choices, in your tension. Face it slowly, face it gently, but face it. There is a man inside you who's not just trying to get by. He's building, he's expanding, he's awakening. You weren't meant to just exist. You were meant to live. And you're remembering that now. This isn't about becoming someone new, it's about returning to who you've always been. The man beneath the fear, the strength beneath the silence. You are not broken, you are not behind, you are ready. And your return begins now. It's not just air, it's a guide. Every inhale returns you to presence. Every exhale releases resistance. Your breath bridges your body and mind, your energy and awareness. When you feel lost, start with breath. Start with the bridge.